Okay, so we have all the pattern pieces here. I traced them with my projector. So we have the pattern piece for the waistband. We have the pattern piece for the pocket. We have the pattern piece for the front. And we have the pattern piece for the back. So I will cut this out and then place it on top of my fabric. Okay, I'm going for this blue stripe fabric with this very red, tomato red bias tape. I will also show you how to make continuous bias tape, but for now I have some left over. It will not be enough for 2 sides, so I need to make more anyways. And this is the fabric. We are placing this fabric over surface. So this one goes here, and then this one goes here. And I try to find a line that is straight, and maybe that will be enough for the waistband or the pocket, so that we can be... No, it's not enough. Then let's see if we can do the pocket. So I will lower this a bit more, and then it's enough for the pocket. Okay, great. And place some things on piece. Candles, my laptop stand, whatever. Room perfume. I will start with the back. Okay, I cut out the pattern exactly as is, but if the inseam is long, it's 85 centimeters long, and I like my pants to be baggy, long, big, so I use the full length. If you want it to make it shorter, so if you want to shorten it, I'll show you how you can do that. So for the front leg, you see where the wave is stopping. So here are waves, and then at the bottom here, a straight edge. So you can very easily shorten it from there. So you can measure the inseam and then compare that to your own inseam for the length of the pants. And if you want to, for example, remove 2 inches or 5 centimeters, you can either fold that away or cut that off, and that same amount you will also reduce from the back leg. You can even go all the way here until the waves. That's why I made it a little bit longer, the pants, so that you can play a bit more but still have the waves all the way, reaching all the way to the ends. So this is the place where you can shorten your pants the easiest. Apply that to the back as well. And then you have 2 straight legs. On the front pattern, you see a guideline here. That is 2 centimeters from the wave. Let me zoom in. So here, 2 centimeters from that wave on the small side, so not here, but here, is that guideline. And you really want to make sure that you mark that. So either with small little cuts and then ironing it, but that is going to be your side seam line, because we are constructing this pants a little bit in a different way regarding the side seam. So very important, either mark it with chalk, mark it while ironing it, making small little cuts if you're a bit more advanced and secure about making things straight. Or you can, for example, fold the paper on that line, so make sure you trace that line. Fold that line. Well, because I used striped fabric, it's already very easy to see that line. So I will just make cuts so that I know which line to use. So here is a little cut. So this is my line, where you also see the pattern laying, and that is 2 centimeters away from the waves here. Very important to mark that. And then that is everything for the front. If it's not very clear to spot the right side and wrong side of the fabric. As for my fabric, it's not that you see a huge difference here. What I like to do is grab pins and then I put a pin on the right side. So just somewhere in the middle, I'm pinning it. So this is my right side. Now I can fold this one away. Turn this, because this is wrong side. This is the right side. And then also here, we do a little pin so that we know that this is our right side. Now I can fold that one away as well. Then coming back to the back piece for a bit, and here you see 2 notches for pockets. So I'm just going to make small little cuts there so that I know where they are. Here. And one is here. Because we also have those notches here on the pocket, and that way we can line them up exactly. Cutting out the pocket, you also need 2. I have this piece of fabric. Cutting out the pocket piece 2 times. Marking the notches here and here. This is, I mark the notches, and you can also mark the middle line, but that will make sense while folding it in half. Then let's just place it all the way to the bottom and on the fold line. Okay, there are 3 ways to find or get bias tape for this pattern. Easiest way is to buy pre-made bias tape. The width of that is in the description, but the wider you go, the more visual the effect of color compared to the pants will be. So it will be wider compared when you use smaller ones, because if you fold this in half, that is the width that it's going to be. But if you have wider bias tape, double folded, should be double folded, it will be this wide on the pants. So that is the difference. Then the second option will be, there's also, I created a pattern piece for the bias tape that you will then need to place on a 45-degree angle on the fabric, which can be very wasteful for fabric to place it 45-degree angles, because then you need to cross like this whole piece of fabric to have enough for the full side seam. The most efficient way, it is a bit harder, but once you master it, it's actually kind of fun, is to create continuous bias tape. So I made this from a square of fabric that is 44 by 44. So we are going to make it together because it's the hardest way, but yeah, therefore I will explain it so that you can follow along. Here you see the square that I used last time for cutting the bias. Let's just use the other side here now. It does not need to be double folded. This cutting mat gives me guidance on what is straight, and it's very smart to use the self side because that is always straight. If you use this side, that can be cut wrong by the people in the fabric store. Not intentional, of course, but sometimes that is just the case. Okay, so use that as my completely straight surface, and it should be 44 by 44. The full width of this cutting board is 45 centimeters, but I can use it as my guide to be straight. Okay, I'm gonna place it right here, and then I use my measuring tape or this to measure straight. So now I can use the guidelines on here to be straight and measure the exact length that I need. Cream Aqua Trick marker, it resolves in the washing machine. So 44 over that straight line, and then use it here. Okay, we have our square, and now we want to make a diagonal line here and here because that is the bias. And now we cut over that line. You can also, oh, that would be easier, fold it and then iron it to have that perfect line. Well, so cutting it. I'm marking the right sides so that it is easier for you all to see what I'm talking about. Now we are grabbing this piece, or this piece, but let's grab this piece, follow along and fold it so that right sides are facing each other and you get this shape, kind of legs. And now pin this side together and we are going to stitch that. So line this up and we are going to stitch that with a 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. And you really want to make sure that you will see that this is diagonal. Let's zoom in. So this is diagonal, and if you start 0.5, then that will mean somewhere here. And you really want to fully go over that beginning and over that end to really secure those little spots and everything. Okay, this is the wrong side because here is the seam allowance. And now this is a straight line that is based on not the bias. This is where we cut the bias. Here is where we have the most stretch. So now we want to create guidelines that are parallel to these lines. So if you have that seam straight in front of you, you are going to turn it a little bit so that this is straight in front of you. And now we are going to create straight lines on the wrong side. You will use your invisible marker and they should be 4.4 centimeters high. Okay, so now we have all the lines on the wrong side. We are going to flip it towards the right side, still on this line. So parallel line is still here, this line is still diagonal. And now we are folding the right sides on top of each other and this one as well. And you see the lines matching up over this panel, and that is what we want. But we want it to be one off. So instead of perfectly matching them up, which will mean, okay, we can cut lines here, whoop, 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 but then we will have a straight line. And if we are disconnecting them, so this one goes one down, and then this matches up with all the other lines. So everything goes one line down, and we start cutting here. You can see that we can continuously keep cutting there. First thing we need to do is line this up. You want the right sides to line up, so you're really picking up that seam. Pick it up and pinch it up like this. Pin it, and we are going to sew that line as well, and then we will have a tunnel. Okay, now we are stitching this with 0.5 centimeter seam allowance again. A tunnel that is off, that is not correct, but that gives us the opportunity to cut all the way around. Do you see that happening? Now find your starting point. So this is not lining up, so here you can see that I'm not lining up there, so I can start cutting from here and follow. Here we are with a very long strap of bias because it's stretchy. Okay, so here is my starting point, and it should just match up in the middle. So you can also first press a whole middle seam if that's easier. But because it's quite long, the continuous bias tape, it's around maybe just at the beginning, and then from here we can very easily see the double folds, and then press this very nicely. There are tools for this, but I'm just showing you the way. Okay, I finished the bias tape. Everything is pressed with a double fold, and now it's ready to be used. And you don't want to be lazy with the iron of this pant. So you see what I did is, this is the wave part, and where the notches were, so where we cut it in and cut it in, what is going to be the side seam, you want to iron that. And please believe me when I say to do that, because this pants is constructed a little bit different than normal pants, because we want the wavy sides on the outside. So we cannot use this as our seam allowance, because then we will not see all the time and effort we are going to put into creating the colorful bias here. So we want the waves to be on the outside. That means that we need to know the side seam line. Bias tape, and now we are just going to fold open one of the edges like that. And you want to do this on the right side of the pants. So where you pinned, this is my right side, add the bias all the way over that waved edge. Starting at the bottom, I like to overlay a little bit, and we are folding open one side. Okay, so now we are sewing 1/2 centimeter seam allowance next to that bias. Cutting off, especially at those corners, we can trim it off a little bit until you have 0.2 centimeters left. on the good side, grabbing your pins and then folding it and pin it right on top of that bias tape. So you want to pin right on top of that bias tape. We are going to sew very close to that edge, and that will also catch the bias tape here at the end. Now put your sewing machine to the longest stitch length, because we are going to top stitch that bias tape, so everything is nice and folded and it catches both sides. Place this right here, bias tape, you cannot see it, but my needle is hitting right here, so right here, not here in the middle, but you want to, this is what that looks like. Now I can zoom in, I guess. So very close sewn to the edge, and on the inside we catched it all. Finish the full bias tape here. And now before we get into any other sewing, we want to overlock all the raw edges of all the pieces. Use the guide in the instructions to see what I mean exactly with that, to overlock it. I think it's the step before this, so you might want to do it before doing this bias tape. I just forgot, so I will do it now. But before we continue, I'm going to overlock this on the front and back pieces, and also repeat this for the other side seam, right? Okay, now so place the front half to the side for a bit and look for the right side of your back leg. And then grab your pocket piece. Now find the right side of the pocket, and the right side is facing me. And for the right side of the pocket, we are going to flip that so that the right side of the pocket is facing the right side of the back leg. And now here along the side seam are the notches. You might still be able to see them, but if not, that actually is fine. And here the same. Just want to make sure that the top is attached to the top. Okay, line up that side next to the side seam of the back leg, as you can see here. Just line it up, pin this in place, and we want to stay inside the seam allowance when sewing this. What that looks like. And now not 1 centimeter seam allowance, but 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. Okay, so now the back pocket is attached to the back leg. Here is the seam I just made. Now I'm folding this open, just completely open. And you want to press this with your iron and then pin this. Press that seam, pin it, and now we are going to top stitch. So put your sewing machine to 5, the widest stitch length, and we are going to top stitch this, which will just let the pocket fall nicely towards the inside. Top stitch close, same as with the bias tape. You want to top stitch here close to that seam. So there's a small little hump and we want to stay close there. Okay, so this step might be a little bit tricky, you guys, so please listen carefully, facing all the wrong sides. This is the wrong side of my right leg that I'm going to attach to the other right leg, right? So make sure you have the same pant legs in front of you. We already attached the pocket to the back, so this is also the wrong side of the pocket. So all the wrong sides are facing me. Now, normally we do the pocket in the side seam, but the side seam of this pants is not that wavy edge, but it is that fold line that we ironed down. That is the actual side seam. This is just an overlaying piece over the side seam. So the side seam is here, but we attached a bit to it to get that wave effect visible on the outside. If it doesn't make sense now, just follow along. It really will make sense. I marked that with a blue stitch marker, that line, so that you can see it a bit better, is that line for me, and that is my side seam. So I want to attach the pocket here in the side seam, but also here in the side seam, so on that blue line. Now, what I'm going to do, because I only want one stitching here and not two, do the following. Rewatch this, please, if it doesn't make sense. We are going to fold it inwards 1 centimeter, like that, so that raw edge, you're going to fold it away from you, so not like this, but the other way around, like this, overlocked or zigzagged edge, so only half a centimeter. I want my pocket to be inside my pants, so I want to overlay it over that side seam by that half a centimeter that I just folded. So overlaying it by half a centimeter, lining it up with the top, and then just going all the way down. And then I will pin this on top of my front leg. So I'm now attaching it over that piece. Let me show you here at the top. So this is the folded edge. Here is the line, and I'm overlaying this over that line. Okay, now we are top stitching so that that overlocked edge is inside of your stitching. Easy way to do it is to feel. So you will literally feel a little bump here where the overlocked edge is, and I'm going to sew just next to that. So a little bit more than 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. So sewing this against the pant. Okay, this is what it looks like on the right side. One stitching here on the right side and the top stitches here. Now flip it so that we are facing all the wrong sides again. All the wrong sides are facing me. And now we are going to close this pocket inwards, facing the front piece. So it's folded inwards at that fold line, and lining this side seam of the back leg with that seam we marked and placing it a little bit over, right? Because of the seam allowance of the back. So place it 1 centimeter over that line because that is the seam allowance for the back leg. And now we are pinning this full seam, pin here as well, but you want to mark the pocket opening because we do not want to sew all the way over here because then we will close the pocket again, and that is not very useful with all the effort we already put into the pocket. So here at the top it is 3.5 centimeters, so mark that with a horizontal pin so that you know I'm going to sew until here and not close the whole thing. And here at the bottom I can actually still see my little notch, and that is here. So I want to sew until here. So now stitching this with just a normal 1 centimeter seam allowance and a normal stitch, we're going to stitch from here all the way to the first horizontal pin. Leave this gap open because we want to be able to put our hands in our pocket, and then stitch all the way here. Then the pocket is still open, so you also want to stitch here. So sew this bottom. This will be included in the waistband. Okay, and trust me, this is going to turn out good. Trust me, you will see the vision after this step. So lining this up, I'm still facing the wrong sides, guys. So we are stitching on the inside of our pants. The outside will look okay. That will just be a different stitch. Bottom of the pocket, so that when we put something in it, it will be in it. You can do just a 1 centimeter seam allowance here. And now let the magic happen. Place it good side facing you on the table so that you can see that you did something completely right. Our pant with that pocket that looks nice in the inseam. And closing this, let me pin this so that it stays attached for a bit. Give this all a good press, right? So that everything lays nice and flat. Yeah, so that's nice. Repeat this pocket step for the other pant leg as well, and then I will see you back when we did both of the legs. You stop at this point. If you have this for the other piece exactly the same, then we meet back up. Okay, here we are facing the right side of one of the pant leg, and this is the other right side, and we are going to place the crotch seams on top of each other. So if you place the right sides on top of each other, both of them, so right side, we are going to line up the crotch seams. So pin this in place all the way to the edge. Same with the front crotch. Pin it in place. And now we are going to sew both of those. So just 1 centimeter seam allowance here, 1 centimeter seam allowance here. Okay, now this is what you're left with if you place it in the same position, but now the crotch seams are stitched together and closed. We want to line up the inseams, but you're not going to sew them here. We want the front inseam to be attached to the back inseam, so we create a pant leg. Here at the top, open it up and fold it, looking like this. And now you see that the inseams are matching up. You have the crotch seam here and then the other pant leg there. So first start with lining up the crotch seam, the easiest reference point. Those two crotch seams that we just pressed open. Inseam that we are going to sew in one go. So starting there at the bottom, going all the way here, making the turn here and then going all the way here in one go. Okay, now this is what we are looking at. I tried them on, they fit good enough. We still need to snatch in the waistband with elastic. I already ironed it, but you want to double fold it. So this is your full waistband. Then you fold it in half, and then this is your half of the waistband that we need. First thing, I pinned again the good side, so opening it back up and now folding this good sides on top of each other, and we are going to sew this. So just a normal 1 centimeter seam allowance here. Okay, this seam is going to be at center back. I also overlocked the edges. Probably already did that in one of the first steps. This is the front because I'm seeing the waves. So that means that this is the back. So I want to line up. I open the waistband completely and then I'm placing the top of the pants inside of that waistband so that the good sides are facing all the way around like this. So now we want to line up center back to that seam there, and then lining up the side seams, and then lining up center front, pinning all the way around with the waistband open. So we are going to pin all the way on top here. You want to be careful with the pockets, right? So you want to include them into pinning it. So this is the waist of the front leg, and also place that pocket against it and pin all of those layers together because we want to attach all of it together, making sure everything lays nice and flat. Okay, that is attached, and now we are just going to sew all the way around with 0.5 centimeter seam allowance, and then now we still have that fold line visible, so I'm going to use that and fold it all the way up first. And now with that fold line visible, I'm going to tuck that inside. So we're folding this inwards by 1 centimeter, and then we fold it over that edge here to close it off nicely. And then pin it. But instead of pinning it on the inside, you actually want to pick it up and pin on the outside. But you can do it one step at a time if this goes a bit too to look. And then this is what the inside is going to look. Very neat. I'm going to pin all the way around, but then when we are sewing, we are leaving a gap open here at the back because we need a spot where we can do the elastic through. So pinning all the way around and marking this with vertical pins that for me is just always a sign of, hey, watch out, something's happening. A gap of 7 centimeters, something like that. This is another top stitch, so you want to put your machine to the highest stitch length, starting at one of the vertical pins. Let's do this one because otherwise we close the gap immediately. The waistband, and then I stitch right below that waistband. But you can also decide to do just on top of the waistband. Or elastic and a safety pin, and attach that safety pin to the elastic, and then grab the pant, find the opening that we have here, and with that safety pin I'm going to insert and pull my elastic all the way through the waistband. This takes a while. Okay, I pulled the elastic all the way through. If you want, before closing that gap, I attach them together. If you want, before closing that gap, you can fit it on and see if the elastic is at the tension that you want. If you tried that on and it is all good, then you make 2 zigzag lines of stitching to hold the elastic flat. So I like to secure this with pin, and then put your machine to your zigzag stitch and lining it up with this, say, seam, so this edge. And then with that zigzag stitch you're just going to go back and front a few times. So it does not need to be one time. You can go back and forward a few times. And then we can basically close this hole that we left open. Normal stitching. Or you can make a stitching here over that back seam so that it is not going to twist inside of your waistband. It can just be a small little stitching there at the top. Okay guys, that's it. Now try this on, see what it looks like, and then decide how much you need to cut off the hem, if you need to cut off something there. Last step of these pants. I decided to not cut them, but just use a big hand. So this is 6 centimeters, and I just press that so that I have my guideline for both sides. And now I can pin this in place. I want to pin this on the right side, and then sew with that seam allowance. And you can use your iron plate to see where that is. Okay, they are done. Look at those waves. Elastic waistband. The pockets work. They look nice. The inside. Ta-da! They look awesome. Okay, thank you all for watching this video and the tutorial. If you already bought the pattern, then I hope you made it work. Make sure to send pictures of your piece at Instagram. Tag me with @viavera. I love to see what you made, what color combination you all chose. Yeah, I'm just excited to see them all. If you want to purchase the pattern, you can do so via the link in the description. I hope this is helpful. There's also instructions included. There are options to shorten the length, but yeah, I think they turned out amazing. Very happy with this pair. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!